It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo Parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science Potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you and welcome to the Science Bowl. Two outstanding elementary schools here to play our game today. Let's meet them right now. From North Forestville Elementary School, would you please say hello to Dominique Moore, De'Ara Moore, and Kiara Brown. And from Tayac Elementary School, here they are, Daryl Lomax, Amy Tejada, and Zachary Severance. And now here are the categories of questions we use on the Science Bowl.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo Parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing and digesting your food. Let's get physical. Questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's Science Potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
Here on the Science Bowl, we arrange our game board according to the difficulty of the questions. The easier questions are on the left, worth 5 and 10 points. The tougher ones worth 15, 20, and ultimately 25, the toughest question in them all. Both of our teams start out at 50 points apiece. No penalties ever for incorrect answers. At the end of the 2 rounds, one of these 2 good-looking teams will come back to play our game again and perhaps advance to this year's semifinals. Let's make sure everything's working properly. Let's go to the red team. De'Ara, would you try your buzzer for me? All right, seems to look and sound good. Good luck to you, to Kiara, and to Dominique. And Amy, would you try the green team buzzer? It too seems to be in good shape. Good luck to you, to Zachary, and to Daryl. First of all, before we start, I just want to say congratulations to you. You've been chosen to represent your schools, so you've already won. And you're great ambassadors no matter what happens here today. So just relax and enjoy yourself. We're really happy you're here. Let's have a good game. May the better team win. Here we go. We go alphabetically N before T. So North Forestville, De'Ara, start us out.
Okay. Can I get Zoo Parade for 15?
Zoo Parade for 15 points. We start out the game with a visual question. Look at the monitor in the studio, please. And what you're looking at is a springtail, an insect that is different from most other insects. Yes, it has 6 legs, but it is missing what form of transportation, if you will? North Forestville.
Wings?
Yeah, it doesn't have any wings. It is apterous, like lice. They don't have wings, but they are still considered insects. Nice answer. All right, go. Red.
Okay. Can I get green things for 15?
Green things for 15 points. You know, at Christmas, everything's supposed to be wonderful, but the plants aren't. Holly and poinsettias have some poisonous parts to them, and this, Tayac.
Can I pass it to Zachary?
What do you want to say, Zach?
They are bare and leaves. The leaves are dull.
No, that's not quite what we were after. Good try, North Forestville. The plants at Christmas aren't really all that cuddly because holly and poinsettia both have poisonous parts, and this other plant is a parasite, the plant that we kiss each other under.
Oh, mistletoe.
Mistletoe, absolutely right. It is parasitic and grows on trees. Doesn't seem to take too much of a toll, though, and Kiara says, that's the way to go, Captain. Nice job, De'Ara. Go again.
Okay. Can I get body systems for 15?
Body systems for 15 points. Teams, listen to all the clues here. Big words, but a simple answer. An ophthalmologist recently told TV star Anderson Cooper that it was ultraviolet keratitis that made him go temporarily what? Tayac?
Blind.
Blind, yes. He was out on the water without sunglasses and he scarred his eyes, temporarily blind for 72 hours. Nice answer, Amy. Good, go.
Let's get physical for 10.
Let's get physical for 10 points. Teams, if all the power goes out, you can still recharge your iPad if you have a couple of potatoes. Yep, you can use potatoes to make a wet cell version of this power source. that sometimes you put in your flashlight? North Forestville.
Battery.
A battery, yes. You can make a wet cell battery hooking up 2 potatoes or 2 lemons. You're not going to get very far. We were saying, how long would the iPad work? Maybe 30 seconds. Try again, Red.
Okay. Can I get science potpourri for 10?
Science potpourri for 10 points. Teams, the gravitational pull of the moon causes these to occur on Earth. The highs, the lows, the springs. Tayac.
Tides.
Tides, yeah, the spring tides, the neap tides, the high tides, the low tides, but not the crimson tide. That's the football team in Alabama. Go Green.
Zoo parade for 20.
Zoo parade for 20 points. Teams, we all know that fish smell, but they also smell themselves because they have a nose. They have to detect things in the water. Sometimes pollution is so bad that they cannot smell the things they need to smell in order to survive. I'll give you 20 points if you can give me 3 things that a fish has to know about, smell about, in order to survive in the water. All right, put on your thinking caps. North Forestville, talk among yourselves in case I have to come to you. All right, 3 heads working over there. Tayac, 3 things that fish need to be able to smell in order to survive where they live. Okay, Amy.
Like where they are, they're like where their home is, where their nest is.
Okay. Give me 2 more.
Source of food.
Okay. And give me 1 more.
Predators.
Predators. Beautiful. Lovely teamwork over there. Just what do we want to hear? Another one you could have mentioned was mates, searching out where the male or the female was. Nice job. Go Green.
Zoo parade for 10.
Zoo parade for 10 points. Teams, a new movie called The Life of Pi is like a modern-day Noah's Ark. But instead of lots of animals, there's just one dangerous animal on board. What striped? Tayac.
Tiger.
Tiger, yes. I was going to say, what dangerous striped feline. Imagine being on a boat with a hungry Bengal tiger. Nice work, Daryl. Go. Green. Let's check that score first. Tayac 105, North Forestville 90. Almost tied here. Go Green.
Dateline science for 10.
Dateline for 10 points. Teams, your question is as follows. Recently at the National Zoo, we don't know if they're dizygotic or monozygotic, fraternal or identical, but the Andean bear just gave birth to what? Tayac?
A panda or a baby cub.
Not a baby cub. No, that's not quite right. North Forestville, we don't know if they're dizygotic or monozygotic, whether they are fraternal or identical, but the Andean bear at the National Zoo just gave birth to what?
Twins.
Twins, absolutely right. Identical or non-identical. Dizygotic means 2 separate eggs fertilized. Monozygotic, 1 that splits. All right. That buzzer means the first round is over. Almost a dead heat. North Forestville 100, Tayac 105. Great game. We'll be back with the second half in a moment. Don't go away.
Hi, I'm Jordan Sparks, and my I Matter You campaign is all about making a difference, and SOS Children's Villages does just that. I cannot believe how many children SOS has helped around the world by building villages, helping abandoned children, and giving them a mother and house to grow up in. I'm calling on everyone that I know to support SOS in their efforts to help kids at risk of abandonment in countries like Sudan, Vietnam, and Haiti. SOS helps these children over the long term, and you can make a real difference in a child's life. MAD, making a difference. That's what it's all about, and SOS is one of the best. You've got to check them out at sosusa.org.
SOS Children's Villages gives homes and hope to children in need all around the world. Join SOS and Jordan Sparks in making a difference. Visit sosusa.org to learn more.
And welcome back to Science Bowl. Thank you for spending part of your day with us. We've got 6 great young people here today playing our game, all for the very first time. Let's go over and find out a little bit more about them and their schools. Let's go first to North Forestville. And Tayac, great team over there. Do you guys practice a lot?
Yeah.
Hey, it shows. Now tell me about North Forestville. It's down in Forestville, Maryland. And who's your sponsor?
Miss Lamont.
Miss Lamont. And she has been associated with Science Bowl for many, many years, and she not only coaches, she's also helped us judge. She's just a great educator, and we appreciate all that she's done for us and for all of you. Who's the principal down there?
Dr. Ellis.
Dr. Ellis, rooting for you, I'm sure. And I know, did you have some alternates on your team?
Yes.
Who are they?
Zion, Ray Valentine, Rajay Lassiter, and Jacob Howard.
Wonderful. We'll bring them up with Miss Lamont in a few moments so they have some airtime and we get to see them, your shadow team. Tell me about your school. What is it about North Forestville that is just great? You go home and tell people, boy, I'm in a great school because what happens?
They have a lot of activities that students can participate in.
And Kiara is saying, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Well, it must be a great place because you're all nodding over there. Tiara, what do you want to do someday?
I want to be a lawyer.
Yeah, and you told me earlier you really don't like to argue. You just don't like the nasty part of it, right? But it seems like you're very level-headed. I can see you making a case in court. Kiara, nice to have you with us today. Kiara, excuse me. Tell me, you like to sing, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah, you look like a natural performer. I bet you'd be really good. What else do you do in your spare time?
I like to do gymnastics. I like reading because that helps me get anywhere. Because if you don't have reading, you can't do nothing. Like,
Exactly
you have to
right.
read stuff.
Absolutely. Reading for your entire life, you're going to need that. What do you want to do someday, professionally?
I want to be a doctor, or I want to be a singer.
Or a singer. You could do both. You know, you could be a singing doctor, right? Patients would love you. Dominique, nice to have you here today. You want to go to, is it Yale?
Yes.
Yeah, and you want to be an engineer someday.
Yes.
You look like an engineer. You look like you're already ready to hit the ground running and design things. What kind of engineer would you like to be?
Mechanical.
Mechanical engineer. So you're a good math student, good science student. How do you know so much science?
Well, my parents got me this book one year, and it taught me a lot. Like, it taught me about the Big Bang, it taught me about Apollo 17, stuff like that.
Absolutely. So, and of course, science history is important as what's going on today, so you have a perspective. Very nice young man. Good to have you with us today. Let's go over to Tayac. We haven't seen Tayac on our show in many, many years, so nice to have you back. I know Daryl said he wanted to make history, you know, the new modern-day history of Tayac by being on Science Bowl. Amy, tell us about your school. You're down on Allentown Road in the southern portion of the county next to Isaac Gordine. And tell me who your principal is.
Dr. Carr.
Rooting for you, I know. And who's the sponsor of your team?
Miss Jones.
Miss Jones, and she's a first-time sponsor. I know how excited she is. We're so excited to have Shelley with us, and thank you for all the work that you've done to get this team ready. Amy, any alternates on your team?
Daniel Malloy.
Daniel, and we'll bring him out in just a few moments. You guys all have uniforms on. Is that the uniform that you wear each day?
Yes.
That's wonderful. And let me ask you what I asked De'Ara about Tayac. What is it that you brag about when you go home? What's great about your school? What is it that people really like?
Our teachers.
Our teachers, I guess, they really inspire us and they push us to do our best.
That's what teachers are for, absolutely. Don't get too comfortable. If it's not a challenge, then maybe it's too easy. Always have students reaching higher, so it sounds like you're in a good place. Amy, tell us about yourself. I know you like to read. And what else do you do in your spare time?
Sometimes I draw things and I draw inventions and stuff.
Yeah, creative young lady. And what do you want to do someday? What do you see yourself doing as an adult?
Teaching.
Teaching. You'd be a good teacher. You see, you have a nice attitude. You have a caring attitude. I think you'd be wonderful. And Zachary, nice to have you with us today. You're looking sharp in your tie over there today. Tell us about yourself. Someday you see yourself in the NBA. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. You play basketball now, don't you?
Yes, I play for the Allentown Arrows. I played for them 3 years now.
Wow. So you're a real scholar athlete. So you're starring on the court, you're starring here on TV, and you're starring in the classroom. What kind of discipline do you have? Do you make sure you do your homework always at a certain time?
I have a certain discipline where, to me, it's if you don't do good in school or you don't finish your homework, you don't get to go to practice or you don't get to play in the games.
Absolutely. Everything in life has a cost, and you've got to pay that, but it pays off because you get to do what you want to do, and you're always ready for it. Nice to have you with us today.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Daryl, nice to have you with us today. Tell me about your career goals.
Well, I really don't know what career I want at this moment, but I know that I would want to test games out for that, so I can know if they're good enough. And then and sometimes I would just like to read mostly.
Listen, if you get a job where you're going to be reading and testing games because you want to make them good for somebody else, if you're having fun and you're good at it and it's worthwhile to somebody else, that's just the perfect match for a lifetime's work. So I wish you luck in that, Daryl. Let's get started in our game again. We're back to the second half. 105 for Tayac, 100 for North Forestville. Last correct answer came from De'Ara, so start us out. Round 2.
Okay. Can I get green things for 10?
Green things for 10 points. Teams, the oldest living organisms on Earth are these P-initial trees that live almost entirely in the northern hemisphere. They are all conifers. What P-initial trees am I talking about? North Forestville.
Pine trees?
Pine trees, yes indeed. Only one species lives in the southern hemisphere. The rest are here. Very long-lived trees. The longest living tree, the bristlecone pine, thought to be over 1,000 years old. Go red.
Okay, let's get physical for 15.
Let's get physical for 15 points. Teams, we know that drizzle falls to the earth, just like snow and rain and hail. But mist and fog never fall to the earth. They just stay suspended. That's why drizzle is and mist isn't. What P-initial term, Tayac? Daryl?
Precipitation?
That's absolutely right. Drizzle is precipitation. Mist and fog are not. Good. Green.
Zoo parade for 25.
Zoo parade for 25. Big one in that category. Teams, look at the monitor. This is a visual question. This unusual looking bird is called a Hoatzin. It lives in the jungles of South America. It is more cow than bird. It has multiple stomachs. It eats lots of very tough to digest plants. And all of those plants go through what F-initial process inside that produces a lot of gas at the end.
Can I pass it to Zachary?
Tayac, Zach?
I want to say photosynthesis.
Not photosynthesis. F-initialed, F-initialed. What kind of process goes on in those many digestive organs in that Watson that produces gas at the end, just like a cow does? What F-initialed process for 25 points, North Forestville?
Food digestion?
Not food. Good try. Fermentation. It ferments inside that bird. It's a stinky bird. All right, try again. No points. Go green. You still have a 10-point advantage. Amy.
Body systems for 10 points.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's get physical for 5.
Physical for 5 points. Teams, opportunity, spirit, and curiosity are all rovers looking for signs of life. Where in the solar system, Tayac?
On Mars.
On Mars, absolutely right. And they are finding some interesting things up there. Go green.
Body systems for 10 points. Body systems for 10.
Body systems for 10 points. Teams, lumbar, sacral, and cervical are all different varieties of these V-initialed bones that make up your spine. Tayac?
Vertebrae.
Vertebrae, absolutely right. The vertebral column. Individual bones, but collectively make up the longest bone in the body. All right, nice answer. Okay, green again.
Science potpourri for 15.
Science potpourri for 15 points. Teams, when one student asked his teacher what this was, she said, it's oxidation. He didn't understand what that meant. So finally, he found a definition that said clashing atoms that create fire. He said, now I know what that is. The same symbol that we see at the Olympics. Tayac.
Zachary.
A torch.
More specifically.
Combustion.
More, please. Judges?
I forgot the name of it.
We're going to go to North Forestville. What is sometimes described as oxidation, but now more scientifically is described as clashing atoms producing fire. Flame. A flame is what I wanted there. That's what we were looking for. Try again, green.
Zoo Parade for 5.
Zoo Parade for 5 points. If you are a Harry Potter fan, you know that the Hogwarts messengers were these predatory birds that fly at night silently, Tayac.
Owls.
Owls, absolutely right. Come on, you're all readers. Y'all should know that. Go green.
Green things for 5. Green things for 5.
Green things for 5 points. Teams, trees do communicate with each other chemically, but it took Dr. Seuss's Lorax to speak for them because he said the trees have no what? Body parts. Tayac.
No mouth.
Not mouth. North Forestville. Come on, guys. The Lorax says, I speak for the trees because the trees have no what?
Voice.
Tongues. We have no tongues. Go green.
Voice. Body systems for 5.
Body systems for 5 points. Teams, long strands of these epidermal extrusions were the pride and joy of Rapunzel. Tayac.
Hair.
Hair, that's right. She had hair all over the map, didn't she? Okay. Go green. Come on, Red. Let's jump in there. Kiara and Dominique, you got to help out De'Ara there. She can't do it on her own. Amy goes.
Dateline science for 15.
Dateline for 15 points. Teams, multiple choice question. Among the virus hunters, probably the most famous is Jonas Salk. He conquered which of the following viruses? AIDS, Ebola, or polio? North Forestville.
Polio?
Polio, absolutely right. He conquered polio back in the 1950s, early 50s, with a vaccine and wiped it out. Go Red. Good, you're back in the game.
Green things for 20.
Green things for 20 points. Teams, pitcher plants are carnivorous plants that live in nutrient-poor soils, so they depend on catching bugs to get enough of this.
Fly traps.
Not fly traps, no. North Forestville. Pitcher plants, like most carnivorous plants, live in soils that are poor in nutrients. So they have to capture bugs to get what nutrient that is also the gas that is the most abundant in the atmosphere?
Oxygen?
Nitrogen. Nitrogen is what they're trying to get. That's what's in those bugs, that protein. Go again, Red. You're still 20 points behind.
Okay, let's get physical for 20.
It's a physical for 20 points. Teams, astronomers have recently found cryovolcanoes, ice-producing volcanoes on Triton, which is a moon that orbits what 8th planet? Tayac?
Pluto?
No. North Forestville. What 8th planet in the solar system is orbited by Triton, where they have found icy volcanoes?
Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus.
Neptune. Neptune. Pluto is no more, unfortunately. Go again, Red.
Okay. Science potpourri for 20.
Science potpourri for 20 points. Teams, it's kind of shocking. If you look at the dung produced by hyenas, it is solid white. That's because they can eat bones, and the white color comes from what C-initialed chemical found in bones. Tayac?
Calcium?
Yes, ma'am. Calcium it is. Nicely done. Go green.
Dateline science for 5.
Dateline science for 5 points. Teams, it's not bookworms they're looking for. Nope. Today, librarians are taking return books, putting them in the microwave, not to kill bookworms, but to kill these insects that we associate now with mattresses. North Forestville.
Bed bugs?
Bed bugs. Bed bugs are getting into the binding of books. How's that for alliteration? Okay, go Red.
Okay, can I get green things for 25?
Green things for 25. Big one in that category. Teams, corn, wheat, oats, and potatoes have been thoroughly tamed by man. So just like dogs and cats and sheep and horses, we call them by this term. Come on, De'Ara.
Pets.
No, not pets, no. Just like cats and dogs and sheep and horses, we call the plants that we have tamed, like corn and oats and wheats and potatoes, this.
Wild?
Domesticated. They are domestic animals. They are domestic plants. Go Red.
Okay. Body systems for 20.
Body systems for 20 points. Teams, big words, simple answer. Many football players are suffering from CTE, chronic traumatic encephalopathy, which leads to a degeneration of what organ in their body? North Forestville.
Foot?
No. Tayac. Chronic traumatic encephalopathy. Football players get it. It's leading to a degeneration of what organ in their body?
I'm going to give it to Daryl.
Daryl?
Brain.
Brain, absolutely right. Encephalopathy was your clue there. Hit too many times in the head. A lot of these football players are developing early dementia and other mental problems. Nicely done, young man. Go green. Tayac.
Dateline science for 20.
Dateline for 20 points. Teams, even though it ran on vacuum tubes and took up an entire room, back in 1946, the ENIAC was developed. The electronic numerical integrator calculator that was the forerunner of what machines we all use every single day, De'Ara?
Computer?
Computers, absolutely right. That whole big room didn't have as much memory as your iPad. Go, red.
Okay. Body systems for 25.
Body systems for 25 points. Teams, listen carefully. What tendon that's found at the back of your knee, if it is torn, can lead to a disabling injury? De'Ara.
ACL?
Not ACL. Good try. Tayac. What tendon at the back of the knee, if torn, can lead to disabling? It is also a verb that means to disable. This is what H-initialed tendon. Hamstring. Hamstring was the right answer. And the buzzer has rung. That means our game is over. We will be right back with a wrap-up. Don't you go away.
It's easy, Grandpa. Brush your teeth twice a day. Floss your teeth once a day. That's the way you fight decay. Hey, hey. Brush and floss every day. Hey, hey. Healthy smiles are the way. Hey, hey, hey.
You can keep your smile for a lifetime, even a boomersaurus like me.
Boomers, you gotta love them.
Welcome back. You know, nobody lost here today. All 6 of our young people are winners. We are so proud of all of them. Give yourselves a hand. Super game today. Our final tally, North Forestville 150, Tayac 185. So Tayac, you will be coming back. Congratulations, Daryl and Amy and Zachary. Miss Jones, congratulations. Great debut for Tayac. You are back. North Forestville, let me see those big smiles I've been seeing all afternoon. You guys did a super job. Dominique and De'Ara and Kiara, we loved having you here. You hope you come back and play again. Miss Lamont, thank you for all that you've done. Look at the shadow team back there. We've got Jacob and Zion and Rajay. Nice to have you on the team, and nice to have you with us. We'll see you next time on another edition of Science Bowl. Bye-bye.